All right. Thank you for tuning into the new SEC podcast. We're giving you a preview of Washington State traveling to Oxford to take on number 4 Ole Miss, 12:45 p.m. Eastern, SEC Network. The line right now is crazy. Ole Miss is favored by 32 points from what I'm seeing, and the over-under is 59.5. So they're expecting a lot of offensive fireworks. Hunter, what are you expecting in this game, and what are your thoughts on this number 4 Ole Miss team?
They're hot. They're hot right now. And Kiffin said he didn't like where this bye fell. I mean, killed a little bit of the momentum that they have. They probably would have preferred it prior to a game that looks a little bit harder on the schedule. This Washington State team, one of the remaining pillars of the Pac-12 after the disintegration, isn't necessarily strong right now. I do think that they could end up being something down the road. They have a great coach, moving in from the FCS level. Right now, it's not coming to fruition. But Ole Miss, on the other hand, number 4 in the country, they can make an argument on a lot of different platitudes in the SEC. They could say best team in the SEC. They could argue for best offense in the SEC. Defense is playing phenomenal. I didn't like the Arkansas game. There's a lot that this Ole Miss team can claim. There should be another big one for them, a big win score-wise, I'm saying.
Yeah, it should definitely be a big win for them. And when you look at Ole Miss, like you said, there's not many areas you see where they struggle. The defense is top 3 or top 5 in the SEC. The offense is obviously a top 5 team in the SEC. Trinidad Chambliss is certainly in the Heisman race, and is obviously one that's starting to this point. And Washington State, it's just a byproduct of college football today. Their quarterback from last year is playing for Oklahoma, right? And so when I think about what this game means for Ole Miss, I want to see more from Kawan Lacey. I want to see more from Trinidad Chambliss. Just let it all out there and just, run up to score in some capacity.
And I don't think that Kiffin has any idea of doing anything different. They do have a pretty tough road ahead. They have some big games coming up that they could kind of, take it easy if they do go up big. But, they have a round table of guys to get involved. There's so many touches to go around here at Ole Miss. You have 6 guys with double-digit targets right now. You got Trey Wallace and Deuce Alexander kind of leading that, but Caden Lee and DeJon Stribling are right behind. Daquan Wright doing great in the pass-catching game from the tight end position. There's so much to continue to develop with this quarterback connection that you would have thought he's been the starter for a few years with how he's been playing with these guys. I don't think that slows down at all in this game. Kawan Lacey playing like one of the better running backs in the SEC. They're going to continue. They're going to continue to ride in this game. I think the question in this one is less about how they're going to perform and more about the spread. Do they cover such a crazy spread, 32 points?
It's a crazy spread, right? Now, and you look at Washington State's schedule, and you look at who they've played, right? They played North Texas, who was undefeated in the American Athletic Conference. In the
rank them,
rank North Texas, rank the Mean Green, right? So
they should be ranked this week.
They should be ranked. They're undefeated in the American Athletic Conference. They beat Washington State 59-10. Washington State, former Power 4 program. Obviously, North Texas is a Group of 5 program, and so if they're putting up 59 points against Washington State. And you look at they played Washington. Washington put up over 50 points on Washington State. Terrible loss for the Apple Cup. Jackson Potter is not a bad quarterback for them, but I would expect this Ole Miss team to run it up, to score a lot of points. Like you talked about all the weapons. And if I'm looking at who they've played against, like Ole Miss is better than Washington. Ole Miss is better than North Texas.
Yeah,
I'm expecting an offensive, showing.
Yeah, I think the North Texas game, Jackson Potter played horribly in that game. I think he had 3 picks. In that one, they transitioned to Zevi Eckhouse for the UW game, and it was close early on. Like eventually, UW pulled away in that one. They did pick up their 3rd win against a pretty mid Colorado State team.
Yeah.
Eckhouse has been playing better. It's really a story of how much pressure they let him get. UW 20 pressures in that game. Colorado State 13 pressures. He does a little bit better when he has that time. Can Washington State keep the pressure off of him that this Ole Miss defense is going to apply? LSU couldn't. So I don't have any reason to believe that Ole Miss won't be able to put guys behind the line against this Washington State team, make it hard for them to move the ball. Eckhouse, I think he's an okay quarterback, but his experience is coming from 3 seasons at Bryant. I didn't watch a whole lot of it. I went back and watched a few of the.
You didn't watch New England Conference football? Good old
I didn't.
NEC football.
Well, so I went back and watched a little bit more like Washington State stuff that he's done. I watched a little bit, some clips of the UW game. I just don't think this is a matchup that Washington State is built for. So, spread's ridiculous. I'm not touching it because it's such a crazy line, but I do think that Ole Miss covers if I had to, pick one way or another.
Yeah, I definitely think Ole Miss covers. I could see them winning this game by over 32 points. And if you asked me before the season started, I thought that last year was Ole Miss's best chance to make a national championship. And now the way things look, like they're still very much in the hunt for this year. Kind of wrapping this thing up. Any final thoughts on the game? What we need to see from Trinidad Chambliss? What we need to see from this Ole Miss defense?
More of the same. I mean, more of the same, honestly, at this point. Like, they've got a lot of, star players on the defensive side who can make things happen, continue to apply pressure. Offensively, I love the fact that, like I said, multiple guys are getting targets, multiple guys getting touches. Continue that so that way you're not pigeonholed into one guy. I got them 45-10.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement with you. I expect a similar performance kind of to that Georgia Gunner Stockton. Like, I expect Trinidad Chambliss to have a couple rushing touchdowns, do what he did best at the D2 level with Ferris State. I'm expecting this game to be 45-10. Ole Miss.
Ooh, there we go. All right, 45-10's the call here. If you're an Ole Miss fan, Washington State fan, ready to watch the game this weekend, let us know what your score prediction is below. If you think the Trinidad Chambliss plays the entire game, if you think they take him out so that way they get him ready for the rest of the stretch they have coming up, let us know. As always, like, follow, subscribe. We appreciate you watching and being here. Love the comments and being able to talk with you all who watch our content. So, as always, I'm Hunter Ziesman, joined by Randall Ledet Jr. Love doing the new SEC podcast. We'll catch you in the next one.